In this video, we're going to take a look at linear functions. And to start, we're going to look at how to find the slope given 2 points. Next, we're going to learn how to find the equation of a line given slope and a point. And then we're going to learn how to find an equation given 2 points. So let's look at the first example. The first example says, find the slope of the line containing the 2 points 3, 1, and 6, 4. In order to use the slope, we're going to use the formula m, which we denote as slope, is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Found it's just easier just to have the first point be x1, y1, and the second point to be x2, y2. So now our slope is going to be y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is 1, divided by x2, which is 6, minus x1, which is 3. And now we have 4 minus 1 in the numerator, which is equal to 3, and 6 minus 3 in the denominator, which is also equal to 3. So our slope is equal to 1. So as we move 1 unit right, we also move 1 unit up. In the next example, it says find the equation of a line with slope of 3 and goes through the point 0, 4. Now when you're given the slope and a point, we're going to use point slope form, which is going to be y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And here we have m is equal to 3, x1 is equal to 0, and y1 is equal to 4. And the y and the x in the equation stay in the equation and is part of the equation. So we have y minus 4 is equal to m, which is 3, times x minus x1, which is 0. And now we're going to solve for y. So we have y minus 4 is equal to 3x. And now we're going to add 4 to both sides. So we get y is equal to 3x plus 4. In the next example, it says find the equation of a line that goes through the points 0, 4 and 2, negative 4. So now we need to do the steps that we did in the first example and the steps that we did in the second example. So we're going to start by finding our slope because it's not given. So we have m is equal to y2, which is negative 4, minus y1, which is 4, divided by x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is 0. And now we have negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8, divided by 2 minus 0, which is 2. And negative 8 divided by 2 is equal to negative 4. So we have a slope of negative 4. And now we're going to use point slope form. And when you're using point slope form and you have more than one point given, you can use either point. I personally usually use whichever has an easier set of numbers to use. And since the point 0, 4 has 0 in it, I'm going to use that. So I'm going to have y minus y1, which is y minus 4, is equal to m, which we found to be negative 4, times x minus x1, which is 0. And now we have y minus 4 is equal to negative 4x, and y is equal to negative 4x plus 4. In this example, it says find the equation of a line given f1 is equal to negative 2 and f of negative 2 is equal to 4. Now I put this example out there just to show you how to get to points from the given information, because this problem is exactly the same as the example 3, except for the information is given a little bit differently. When you see f of 1 is equal to negative 2, that means that x is 1 and the output y is negative 2. So we can write this as 1, negative 2. And the other point, f of negative 2 is equal to 4. That means if we input negative 2 into our function, the result is 4. So we have the point negative 2, 4. And then we would do exactly the same steps that we did in the example before. And in the next example, we have find the equation of a line with an x-intercept of 3 and a y-intercept of negative 7. And again, This is the same type of problem as example 3, except for you're given the problem worded just slightly different than 3 or 4. So we have 2 points given, but they're given to us in word form. So if we're told that the x-intercept is 3, that means it crosses the x-axis at 3, so we know that that point is 3, 0. Remember, if you're right on the x-axis at 1, 2, 3, 0, that means y is 0. And then the other point is y-intercept of -7. So we have a line that looks something like that, and this is -7. So we know we have a point of 0, -7. And now we'll go through and find slope and use point-intercept form one more time so you see it again. So we have m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So our slope is -7 over -3, which is 7/3. And now we have 2 points that both have a 0. Now personally I like to use the y as 0, so that way I don't have to do any work on the left side of the equation. I have y minus 0 is equal to 7/3 times x minus 3. And now we have y is equal to 7/3 x minus 7. And that's all for this video on linear functions.